Howdy partners. You must be wondering, as we stand next to this rusted farm contraption, how 2022 was for 1/72 ancient miniatures. We will cover this today. The tractor is just not relevant to the discussion. I just needed somewhere to film it, which wasn't next to my house. So let's cover how this year was for ancient miniatures.
Folks, we got a stellar lineup for you today. Now, I know the usual programming is about the Imjin War, but we could not round off the year without discussing what the best miniature set for 1/72 Ancients is for 2022. Now, you know that reviews are unbiased, canonical, and objective truth. There is only one truth, and it is mine. So it is a mystery why girls keep breaking up with me when I tell them that they can't, while I cry and beg in public. Preferably in Olive Garden, because my friends don't usually go there and the staff are used to amazing amounts of bullshit. Probably because of the quality of food that they serve. This year's releases started off slow, with Caesar Miniatures cold cocking us with some Chinese Three Kingdoms soldiers before the final stretch of the year, when everything came through at once with a diverse range of different nations. And that's what we like to see. We want the crowd pleasers. We want more diverse sets to appeal to as many people as possible. That's a really left-wing kind of stance, right? Let's not get political. Let's, just diversity in terms of more miniatures is good. Like, it's not political, all right? But in the quest to find the best 1/72 ancient set of 2022, we need to narrow down the competitors to one. In much like dating or marriage, which is what I was told when I was a child before I learned about divorce, but also about the importance of communication. If you take regular business trips to Bangkok, or she will take the kids and your rare Boba Fett collection, but she didn't know that the figures are worthless outside of the packaging, and the police report doesn't provide enough evidence for the insurance claim, and so now you sit there all Boba Fettless in the ashes of defeat. Which is why we have to choose the best 1/72 ancient set this year. The Caesar Miniatures Three Kingdoms Shu Kingdom Set 1 comes with a stunning 14 poses and 33 figures with a set of 4 unique heroes. We get Liu Bei, Guan Yu, Zhongfei, and Zhuge Liang. Now, straight up, that is straight fire. These 4 are like the Avengers of the Three Kingdoms. If you are not familiar with Chinese folklore, these guys go on all kinds of wild, non-sexual adventures. It's rare to get commander-type figures or hero-type figures in box sets. You might get a sergeant or such, but these Caesar figures are ornamented and representational of their popular depiction, which goes a step beyond the typical sergeant figure. You get 14 poses in this box set. This beats out every other ancient set released this year. 33 figures is in a mid-range, however. LinearA infantry sets typically give you 48 figures, so there's less figures but more unique figures, and it's hard to objectively weigh up which is better, having 15 less figures or 2 more unique poses. But first, let's look at the figures themselves. Oh my word, the sculpting is so crisp. The armor plates are well defined. There are subtle details of the tiny armor plates on the helmets. There are folds in their little cloth skirts. The faces are subtle. If you're a layman, you might be like, ho ho, who cares bro, where are the cheeks? But as a miniature enthusiast, we know that this stuff matters. This is the essence of what makes a good miniature. The quality of the sculpting. That's where the chicks are, bro, in the details. Allegorically, not like physically infused in the miniatures. This isn't the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Caesar Miniatures are quite well known for making good molds. These sets usually come with very little mold lines, and I appreciate that. This iteration of Han Troopers have soldiers with their iconic hats as well, and I appreciate the variety. But why are there no shields? The last set they made had shields. Give us some shields. You get a lot of swordsmen and spearmen and less archer and crossbow poses. This might be a problem depending on what you need, but this isn't objectively bad. The poses are dynamic, with a variety of fighting poses, some non-fighting poses, and some shooting poses. All quite good, but no one is yelling. Everyone has a closed mouth. So while this could be considered to be a nice, peaceful family dynamic, which is something I've never understood, and probably terrible for the bedroom, which is also something I know nothing about. This is a battlefield. Some guys have to yell. You can't have no yelling in life and death. I think a variety of facial expressions would have enhanced this set, provided more diversity, and made the figures more realistic. Now, I want to consider the context of these models, in the sense that there is one set of existing Han Dynasty troops made by Caesar already, and then the Qin or the Qin Dynasty, which could also pass off as Han. So this adds to the troop diversity, but we're already decently served by two previous sets. LinearA, who are straight up my favorite 1/72nd ancient miniature producer, my word is law, you can't disagree on this, didn't release anything in the first half of the year, but Caesar Miniatures made an unexpected comeback with the Shu Kingdom set around February. In August 2022, LinearA released 4 sets: Persian Cavalry, Athenian and Syracuse Hoplites, and early Roman soldiers. So just on sheer numerical quality, they overwhelm Caesar Miniatures, and my heart, which can only take so much. Now, I haven't bought these yet, so I just have to assess these based on the pictures provided by Plastic Soldier Review, which is a fantastic resource for 1/72nd modelers. They're not paying me to say this, they genuinely are just really good. I will buy them though, I will buy these minis. LinearA just said that these sets are limited editions. So as an investor, I know all about damn limited editions, you know, with the Nikes and everything. Now the Persian Cavalry comes with 12 figures, 8 horses and 2 camels. Each human is unique. Not in a, like, everyone is special, you all get a medal way, just like each sculpt is unique. And you get 2 of each mount. That's not much. Inflation is hitting really hard. Oh wait, no, old sets have always had that many figures. Okay. We're going to all be Games Workshop prices at this point. LinearA sculpting is amazing, as always. Anatomically correct, dynamic, with riders posed as if fighting. And some have open mouths, reflecting the gritty realism of battle. Good job, LinearA, good job. The variety of figures is great, representing many cultures of the Persian Empire, from the Sagratians, Sagratians, the Caspians, and the Saka fellow with the nice hat. But 12 unique poses is really cool. You don't get that many with hat or even Zvezda. Mold lines are also very fine here, so this is great. This is a very good, excellent set. But in the context of Persian Cavalry, we already have 3 sets by hat, 1 from Zvezda, 2 from Mars, 2 sculpts from older Mars, so this adds more figure diversity, but the 1/72nd modeler is already quite well served. The Athenian Hoplites come with 12 poses and 48 figures, so 4 of each pose. So 2 less unique poses, but 15 more figures than the Caesar Miniatures set. I have a soft spot for Greek hoplite armor. The helmets are so visually spectacular, and this set renders the armor and poses in stunning, awe-inspiring detail. You get some visible, noticeable differences in breastplates and the thigh armor, which is nice. The poses are in solid fighting poses, the kind of poses you would want in a phalanx. They're also quite similar, but this is fine given the phalanx is an immovable block of men. You also get some hoplites standing at rest and one which is wounded, so many different poses here. Mold lines are again very clean and small and easy to remove. Another stunning, sexually arousing set. But we have so many offerings in plastic already. Greek hoplites are obviously very popular. We have Atlantic, Caesar, 2 Zvezda sets, 2 hat, another 2 LinearA sets. So the collector of Greeks has many options, and this new offering is very well rendered, but it's not plugging any gaps. We have an entire plethora of offerings. The Syracuse Hoplites are also really quite bodacious. 12 poses, 48 sculpts. Honestly, the thing I said for the Athenian Hoplites just apply here, but I would add that these hoplites are more dynamic. You have running poses, leaping poses, all into the thick of combat. I like that the Syracuse have their own visual aesthetic of having no helmet crest, because they were a Greek colony in Sicily, so having little differences is nice. A minor complaint is that you couldn't make some of these into a typical phalanx because the poses are too dynamic, but I personally love the dynamism. Sculpting is excellent, the molds are excellent again, and also again, there is much competition from many other hoplite sets, but these hoplites are distinctive with their helmets and poses, so this point is less salient. In a vacuum, I would say the Syracuse come on top of the Athenians. Get it? Come on top. For their distinctiveness and dynamism. Even though I actually prefer the classical Greek helmets, I acknowledge that this set is bolder, more innovative, and necessary. But we are not in a vacuum, so we're gonna keep going. Okay, the Roman army under King Servius Tullius. Now this is a unique set. 12 poses, 48 dudes, an exemplary, quality set with great sculpts. Ladies and gentlemen, and every other possible thing you may identify as. Look at this shit, oh my lord, there are some gorgeous miniatures. The standard excellent sculpting, the standard acceptable to great poses, anatomically correct, detail in the armor and cloth. But this set breaks new ground. We have never had an early Roman army set in plastic ever. Ever. Pre-Republican, pre-Empire, this set evidences distinctive shields, head crests, bowl helmets, Samnite style feathers and unarmored skirmishers. What a revolution. What innovation and style and grace. This is like the iPhone of 1/72nd Ancients Wargaming. If no one cared about iPhones and Apple didn't have any brand power. Outstanding Marines. Hegemony released the Arameans and Ancient Dorians. Do they worship Rogel Dawn? Around August. And Phrygians and Persian war elephants around November. And hot damn, they are not fantastic! I suspect that these are all re-releases of older products, but they got re-released this year, so in they go. The figures just aren't as detailed or well proportioned compared to the others. I don't need to go into historical accuracy because the figures are not great, and if they're not great, what's the point? Would I still buy them? Possibly, if I needed to fill out an army or was held at gunpoint, but generally they just aren't the best figures out there. However, one point of redemption is that no one else has ever made any sets in these subject matters before, so they fill very particular niches. But why do they look like this? What is this? This has major kill me now energy. They look like a beginner's model with too many layers of paint on them, you know? But they're not even painted yet. They look so blocky that Lego is filing their lawsuit as we speak. They look so blocky, they could have come from a 90s video game. I want to be nice and support the 1/72nd hobby, but these minis do not win Ancient 1/72nd Set of the Year for 2022. Ultima ratio. Round out the end of the year with new Gladiator sets. The Gladiators, Hoplomachus, Thracian, and a Carthaginian army set. The Carthaginian army, Iberian infantry, was released in October. They were both released in October. Anyway, for the Gladiators, you get 27 figures in 9 poses, which is lower than LinearA's products, but the sculpts are quite nice. I think they're very dynamic. You get leapers and jumpers, and they're detailed. They're not crisp, but they're detailed. You get some unique audience figures as part of the set, but the lower number of figures and the pose numbers lets this set down. Also, there are already 5 existing Gladiator sets for competition, including the excellent Pegasus Gladiators, which are literally some of the best 1/72nd figures in the entire hobby of 1/72nd, not just Gladiators. The Carthaginians also come with 27 miniatures and 9 unique poses, and the faces and the detail just don't match up to LinearA's or Caesar's goods. We also, for context, have for competition 4 different Iberian sets. So yeah, you just don't win. So, who is the final winner? Who is the final winner for 172nd best ancient set for 2022? It goes to LinearA's Roman army under King Severus Tullius. It wins for its innovative subject, the quality of its sculpting and mold, its relative adherence to history insofar as we know. We have quite a few quality sculpted sets this year, but none of this subject matter executed so well. So yeah, you guys win. Now, you don't win any physical reward, but you get my congratulations, which is more than my parents gave me, so take what you get. Buy this set, everyone! It won my approval. Buy the set! Happy New Year, everybody!
So there you go. That's how 2022 was for ancient miniatures in 1/72nd scale. There's not many manufacturers that make ancient miniatures in 1/72nd, so the few, or the one that does, I'm very grateful for. The one that does in plastic. So good to know that we're still trucking along, but we're dying, we're limping. It's not great, but we can keep it going as long as we can. As long as we can, you know.
I don't ask this often, but liking and subscribing is nice.